How's it going, everybody? Obviously, the Yankees had a tough opening day at Yankee Stadium. They got shut out. They lost 3-0, and we got a lot of voicemails. I can't possibly get to them all, so I wanted to kind of provide a summary of what most of them were like.
George is getting upset!
Yo, what's up, Derek? It's TK. That was pretty frustrating. That was a pretty frustrating loss. Stroman looked great, pitched his heart out, gave the Yankees the start that they needed, and they kind of blew it. No ifs or ands or buts about it. I mean, can't ask for much more than that from Stroman. And then Ferguson comes in and lets up a dinger first pitch. Derek had mentioned this before, but I didn't really see much from Ferguson myself. I wasn't overly impressed. I'm still hoping that he can turn out to be a reliable reliever, but jury's still out on him. So overall, frustrating loss. Definitely feels like the Yankees sort of gave this one away. They had opportunities to win, and they didn't.
TK calling in from LA. And yes, that was the first really frustrating loss of the year. They lost 7-0 in their other game. But, I mean, sometimes you're just going to get blown out like that. As that old saying in baseball goes, you're going to win 50, you're going to lose 50. It's what you do with the other 62. I feel like this is one of those other 62. I feel like the Yankees could have won this game. They had opportunities. They just didn't get it done. And it doesn't get any easier tonight because they're facing Kevin Gausman, who's one of the most deadly pitchers in the American League. He's somebody that I thought the Yankees were going to sign when he was a free agent. He's got an unbelievable split-fingered fastball. And the split-fingered fastball is one of the most effective pitches in Major League Baseball, and he's got one of the most effective versions of that pitch. So I don't blame you if you're not feeling super optimistic about tonight, but hopefully the offense comes around. They don't usually get shut out 2 times in a week, and I can't imagine it happening 3 times in a week.
I'm not concerned about the bullpen yet. I am concerned about batting Giancarlo Stanton cleanup. That was a travesty. I mean, I understand wanting to put stock in the guy, but batting him cleanup? I'm sorry, that just made no sense to me. It was very frustrating watching him basically be an automatic out, especially after Judge threw 2 walks in his first 2 plate appearances, and watching Stanton just do nothing with them. I have no words.
Yeah, I think I totally agree with you. Giancarlo Stanton has not done enough in recent years to justify hitting cleanup, even against lefties who are home run prone, like Yusei Kikuchi. I would definitely keep him in the bottom third of the order until he proves otherwise. 7th in the lineup against lefties is the only place for him right now. That's where I would keep him, if you even play him at all. I've heard a lot of people say that, well, the Yankees need to cut him, they need to eat the salary. It's too early for that. I think they're going to keep him for a while. They owe him over $70 million, and there's just no way that they're going to let him go before the Martian comes back. Now, if the midsummer rolls around and it's, June 15th or so, and Jason Dominguez is, rehabbing at AAA and he's tearing the cover off the ball, and Verdugo's playing well, and Soto's playing like Soto, and Judge is playing like Judge, there's going to be an odd man out. And in this lineup, we can't afford to hold guys who are going to strike out as much as Giancarlo Stanton does. So I could see him becoming a $60 or $70 million cheerleader from the bench, and then maybe after the season getting DFA'd or something when you owe him less money. Yankees aren't going to pay the man, $60, $70 million to just go away yet. But we have seen them pay $30 million, $40 million, which the Yankees are quickly approaching. And with Stanton making as much as he does, if he doesn't start hitting, he's getting into that territory. Thanks for the call.
The bats were dead, but it was a great game up until the 9th inning. We're going to miss Loizica, that's for sure. I don't know if this guy Birdie really has what it takes to, make it, in the American League East, but I guess we'll find out. Number 2, I don't understand why Boone didn't pinch hit. He had Cabrera and they had Wells on the bench. They let Birdie get up. They could have had Cabrera come in, who's had great luck, and I don't understand why they benched this guy to begin with.
That's a great question. 8th inning, you had a right-handed pitcher on the mound, and you had a chance to go to a couple lefties off the bench. Now, the only reason I could see that the Yankees wouldn't do that is how effective that pitcher's changeups are against lefties. We saw what he did to Juan Soto, made him look silly. But, I'll admit 100% I was a little distracted yesterday because of the whole dog situation. And so I wasn't even thinking along those lines. I was just kind of watching the game play out. But with a clear head today, yeah, I think I would have to pinch hit there. I think I would have to send up Oswaldo Cabrera just because, you got to play the hot hand as we see him loop at a base hit right there. You mentioned luck. I think luck is where preparation meets opportunity. He's put in the work this winter. He's been working with Juan Soto. And, I think he's ready to break out. So having him on the bench right now doesn't make a lot of sense. And with Gossman's nasty split-fingered fastball, I don't think he's a great matchup for left-handed hitters. So wouldn't shock me to see him on the bench again today. And that, of course, would fit right in with Aaron Boone's MO over his first several years as Yankees manager, where you have a hot hitter and then you play the matchup game for a couple of days and you cool him off. So call me not optimistic about tonight.
Derek, what's good? Neil from the Bronx. How come Volpe is not our leadoff hitter, man? What's the holdup?
Thanks for the call, Neil. I think it's coming at some point. He's hitting .423, and he had another couple of hits yesterday. You see the double there in Arizona. His swing looks so much better this year. But I think just given what he did last year where he hit .209, I think they're going to make a serious effort to keep the pressure off of him until he can put together some sustained success. I said at the beginning of the season, after the first game, in fact, where he drew 3 walks and just looked like a totally different hitter, that if he plays well for about 3 weeks and plays that way for about 3 weeks, I could see him being the Yankees' leadoff hitter. I think it might even take a little bit longer than that, but by early May, mark my words, by early May, Anthony Volpe is the leadoff hitter on this team.
Hey, Derek, I'm calling it right now. The World Series will be Oakland versus Miami.
Don't smoke crack.
What's going on, Derek? This is Brian from upstate New York, Albany area. Had to say Stroman looked good again. Him and Rodon both, honestly, anyway, both their second starts. Through their first 2, they both looked really good. Honestly, Stroman's better than I expected. Rodon's pitching up to what we hoped he would be last year, honestly. And, man, Stanton, though. Dude, what is this guy doing still in this lineup?
No, I get a lot of voicemails. I actually had 66 voicemails today, it looks like. I haven't listened to them all, but I can scroll through them. And I can see the transcripts of what people are talking about. And Giancarlo Stanton is mentioned in about half of them. So I've taken a couple of samples. People are unhappy with Giancarlo Stanton. And on a day where the Yankees get shut out and your cleanup hitter looks as bad as Stanton did, he's going to be the GOAT. And I mean that in the pejorative way, not the greatest of all time, but the old-fashioned way of saying GOAT. GOAT used to be the name for somebody who gets the blame. And, Giancarlo seems to be getting the blame right now. Now, to your second point, the pitching has been great. I mean, Stroman, more than living up to his contract so far. I was kind of curious why the Yankees would sign him to a multi-year deal, but now I'm like, wow, this guy is a true veteran pitcher. I mean, he knows how to pitch. He mixes it up. He gets movement. I still think we're going to have to watch his health because he's not the biggest, strongest guy in the world. Like, smaller pitchers put a lot of strain on their arm. We see that with Loizaga. And Stroman is getting up there. He's in his 30s, so we might have to occasionally insert a 6th starter, but we do have some guys in the minor leagues that I think can help out with that. Will Warren looked good this spring. Clayton Beeter, obviously, I think I've spoken about him a number of times. I think he's going to be tremendous. But so far now, 1 week into the season, a little over a week into the season, I've got 2 main concerns. Bullpen depth, especially now that Loizaga's out, but we got to stop counting on Loizaga. The guy gets hurt every year. And Birdie has looked great until yesterday. He was wild. You wonder if pitching in front of the home crowd for the first time, he got a little too amped up, and that can cause you to overthrow a little bit, which can cause you to lose your command. Now, hopefully he settles down as the year goes on. The other thing that concerns me is obviously Stanton. I mean, he's concerning everybody. He was a major question mark coming into the season. You wanted to see him get off to a hot start. but by getting off to such a slow start, he's obviously bringing these questions back into play, and it's something the Yankees are going to have to address if he doesn't turn around.
Just had to ask here, man, and I don't know if I'm the only one truly feeling this way or not, but I've been feeling like this for a couple years. How long do we have to just struggle and have to deal with Stanton? This guy is just absolute dog water. He's terrible.
Clock is ticking, baby. Clock is ticking.
Hi, Derek. It's Simon Rosenthal calling from New Haven, Connecticut. The message I want to play is, what is the obsession with this Yankee team grounding out and popping up all the time? I mean, is it an obsession? I mean, are we taking them away from something? I mean, it's like Brett Gardner's cursing his team and Joey Gallo. I mean, ground out, pop up. I mean, Boo doesn't understand that these pitchers need some respect and run support.
Joey Gallo would love to ground out this much. Joey Gallo's a strikeout machine, and it was painful to watch Joey Gallo. But I don't think the team is grounding out or popping up on purpose. Yesterday was a pitcher who was on top of his game, and you're facing another tough one tonight. So settle in.
Well, apparently I'm Bruce Wayne from Gotham. I just wanted to hear your opinion on the Loizaga situation. I fear that the Yankees trying to push him with his injury record to try to be the new king really probably hurt him more than they originally thought it would. I just wanted to know your thoughts on that.
Let's not stand on ceremony here, Mr. Wayne. No, I agree 100%. Loizaga, they put a lot of eggs in that basket, and this is a guy who gets hurt every year. He's not built to be a guy who throws 100 miles an hour. His arm just can't take it. He's been hurt every season since he's joined the Yankees, and it seems like he's been with the Yankees for forever. Does he have nasty stuff? Absolutely. Does it do us any good on the IL? Absolutely not. I will see you guys after the game. Thanks for calling in. Call in after every game, and I'll see you next time.